Today is Friday, September 27th. I want to share a bit more about what helps me with my issues. Namely, I refuse to really name them though, because I'm giving them power. Yeah, that's how it works. But it really has to do with how you start your day, and I already shared that before. But it is very important. For me, it's important how I start my day. I wake up too early and I'm already set for sort of failure. Zombieing throughout the life like that is not okay. You need your rest to recharge. So from the get-go, you are at a disadvantage if you did not get sufficient sleep. You know. But me, I'm like looking for stuff to make me happy from the get-go. I treat each day as a new day when it belongs to me and I can do whatever I want with it regardless of anything exterior to me. And I know this can go in different ways. It can be interpreted as being lazy or being selfish or, I don't know, wasting time. It's my time to waste. That's one. And second, if people feel like they waste their time with me, I suggest they don't do that. You know what I mean? It's like, no offense, everybody has their own time and they manage it the best they can, especially when they are forced to follow a set schedule because they need to make some money. If you are in a certain position, you can just make up some fees and say, my job is done today. I'm gonna take from this and I'm gonna put it to this. Oh no, it doesn't make sense, but it's very comfortable. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get political right now. I just want to share what helped me since I've been struggling with anxiety. I'm gonna name it. Look, I lied. So, anxiety, depression, and insomnia, and a lot of other beautiful little effects from insomnia, triggering, irritability, lack of patience, especially heavily triggered by BS. Even a speck of it is like, I get it. In a different way than before. Before I like just let it be. But then I'm like, no, I let it be long enough. We are letting things be, and look where we're at. Right? I don't know, maybe others are having such a wonderful life and they don't worry, stress about anything. I can't think of too many people being able to do that unless they use some hard drugs or they are severely brainwashed or they are very rich. Stinking, putrid, rich. I noticed YouTube always changes this word. I have problems pronouncing some words, such as rich. When you reach for something, and then when the stinking, greedy bastards. But from the context, I think it's easy to tell what I'm talking about, right? Alright, so let's get back to the thing. What helped me I there are lots of things, but first things first, wake up in the morning and make it a good day. Like I can't remember his name. I watch this doctor on a few doctors on YouTube, some on Instagram, and whatever. But I try to take my information from everywhere. You know, even if it's something that it's not useful to you, at least you learn that it's not useful and you move on. So many people are like, whenever you mention you deal with insomnia, they're like, "Oh, have you tried this? Have you that?" People, oh, I tried everything. Trust me. I don't refuse trying other things for sure. Depending on what that is, that's one. I mean, at some point, I reached a state when I was like, somebody, please sedate me already. But luckily, I am no longer. The thought of someone putting something into my body is not welcome at all. Unless I do it myself, meaning I produce the vitamin C and the B liquid vitamins and inject them myself. I mean, nowadays, quite frankly, even if you do something, I mean everything from scratch, you still do not know what those parts contain. So let's say ingredients, right? So let's say you're baking. You don't really know what enhanced stuff comes through the bag with the flour, the sugar, and this new fashion imposed on us with how acceptable it is to eat not rodents, not yet. But I'm pretty sure we get that too unwillingly, or what's the expression, willy-nilly. uh Anyway, I want to keep it on the light side, so uh obviously, if things like what I'm talking about upset you, you're welcome to click off. Nobody forces anyone to do anything against their will, and especially when it's not called for, right? But uh, each to their own, their tastes, without judgment. Judgment has to come from truth and facts and so on. But I stray away again from what I wanted to talk about. Well, I'm not really in danger because almost no one listens to my stuff, so. And even if I was in some sort of danger, I really don't care. You know, you have one life to live, they say. But do you, really? Why do I feel like this life is programmed in detail by someone else and having nothing to do with you other than you being forced to do it? That's abuse in my book. I tried for sleeping, for instance. I started with a weighted blanket, and that's not for everybody, like I said. However, you will never know unless you try it. You're willing to test things, right? And when you are reaching a point when you actually buy a hammock just to ensure you get some sleep somehow, a restful sleep, uh, yeah, you know that you need to find a solution, no matter what that is, in the best way possible. Meaning, not having to drug yourself, either recreational or the other type, because they all have side effects. And I'm not going to go into that. I already strayed long enough. my preference is to go for natural things. You also have to pay a lot of attention to yourself. What sets you off, what triggers you basically, and try to avoid those things. I used up all my patience, and unfortunately, whatever triggers me, I'm right there, I'm present, and it's not too good for other people, but it's good for me. In a ideal world, my world, everyone is allowed to be decent and be helpful and supportive of everyone and themselves. Try look at a problem not as being something frustrating. You have to look at it like a little puzzle that you take your time, you take breaks, and then you go back to it, and in the end you find a solution. Puzzle really is not the best metaphor I could come up with, because certain problems have a lot of other solutions that you can find. And typically people focus on finding the fastest solution, which means improvising. And I find that this is what we've been doing for a very long time. I forgot what I was talking about. Yes, the weighted blankets. The weighted blankets are very good. You feel cocooned. Again, it's not for everybody, but it's something worth to look into, see if you can find it on sale. And what else has helped me? Yes, the weighted vests. I find that one also is really good. Not the one that goes over your chest and restricts your breathing. I did see a few. It restricts your breath, so your chest cannot expand properly. And when you are wearing weights, you are making an extra effort, right? So even if, let's say, investing in a weighted vest is not helping with the anxiety, it may help you with working out. I discovered that basically it helps me with, exercising. Like I said, you're wearing extra weight, and that is awesome. It's also awesome when you take it off and you feel like a butterfly. I'm exaggerating, but yes. For me also, depression has affected me in a way, well, probably everybody, but I can only speak on my experience. I don't want to generalize and assume everybody is experiencing the same things, because that's not true. But what I can do is share what I experience. And one of the major things is I don't have the drive to exercise like I used to before. And that is something that is very unfortunate, because exercise is creating endorphins. Every time I exercised in the morning, I was pumped for the rest of the day. And mind you, I'm not a cardio freak at all. I'm not into cardio stuff. I'm more into resistance training. And yeah, I don't know. Again, it's your preference. But I find that if you really want something long lasting and during the metabolism, basically, weight training is much better than doing the cardio, in my opinion. Obviously, you can do both. You do what you want, basically. I know ever since I was a kid, I was not into cardio. I was into strength, into flexibility, muscle, that kind of thing. Anyway, that helps you with exercising. The metabolism is running faster after you do weightlifting, and you don't need to do it like a freak. It's enough to do just a few things. In my case, right now, my weight training is my weighted vest and my ankle weights that I don't wear very often, but I'm planning to until I start doing my exercises. And I'm very pumped up because in a few minutes Canadian Tire opens and I'm gonna go buy some wrist weights. So in this way, I feel I'm taking care of those things I don't feel the drive to do. In a way, I'm forcing myself to exercise, and I think it shows the amount of ice cream I've been eating lately. Oh my goodness. I'm ashamed. But not that ashamed not to buy it and eat it. I speak about balance and harmony, but then it's so hard to keep that, right? Another thing that it's important is to be very kind to yourself. Like me binging on ice cream or on sorbet and stuff like that, frozen yogurts. Try to select something that is not that bad. However, I'm also tempted to get the stuff loaded with caramel, sugar, coffee, chocolate, that type of thing. Like I said, you need to be okay with the fact that you can't be perfect in your goals. But you straying away doesn't mean that the battle is lost, so I'm gonna dive right into chocolate, candy bars, and such. No, you've got your moment of splurge. That's how it works for me. And then I'm tamed down. But what I want to say is, I think me wearing the weighted vest, I don't know, maybe even the blanket while I sleep and move, maybe it's also an exercise, right? Lifting that weight could be. I don't know. But I've noticed that me binging is not impacting me as bad as it was before. And it has to do with this little trick. Anyway, I rambled way too much right now. I gotta get ready. Gonna buy my wrist weighted things. Hope you have an awesome day, everyone. Share your thoughts if anybody's listening. And enjoy your day, and no matter what, do not let anything upset you, especially if it's within your control, to stop it, right? You have the power. Just look for it. You'll find it. I guarantee it. Love you all. Take care.